What if I told you a single loaf of bread could start a revolution? That a king's dinner while his people starved could end a 1,000-year-old monarchy? And that the very idea of freedom could turn into one of the bloodiest periods in human history? This is the story of the French Revolution. How the people of France rose against their king, changed the world, and unleashed chaos that even they couldn't control. By the late 1700s, France looked rich on the outside and rotten within. Paris glittered with palaces and parties. Versailles was a golden dream, while peasants were eating grass and sawdust bread. The system was built on three estates: the clergy, the nobility, and the rest, the third estate, over 90% of France. Guess who paid all the taxes? The poor. King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette lived in luxury, spending on wars and jewels while the treasury bled dry. France had helped the Americans win independence, but now couldn't feed its own people. By 1788, bad harvests, inflation, and hunger had turned anger into desperation. In May 1789, the king called a meeting the Estates General, hoping to fix the crisis. But when the Third Estate demanded a fair vote, the nobility refused, so they broke away, declaring themselves the National Assembly. When locked out of their hall, they gathered in a tennis court, swearing not to disband until they wrote a constitution for the people of France. A simple oath became a symbol. Power was shifting from the crown to the crowd. And then came July 14, 1789. A mob stormed the Bastille, a royal fortress and prison, tearing it apart brick by brick. The fall of the Bastille wasn't about freeing prisoners, it was about freeing France. The revolution spread like fire. In the countryside, peasants burned feudal records, the proof of their debts. In Paris, reformers declared the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen. Men are born and remain free and equal in rights. Powerful words, centuries ahead of their time. But fear spread to rumors, said the Queen hoarded grain. So, in October 1789, thousands of women marched 12 miles from Paris to Versailles, shouting, "Bread, we want bread." By 1791, France had a new constitution, a monarchy on paper. But Louis XVI didn't believe in it. He tried to escape disguised as a servant. He was caught, dragged back, and branded a traitor. Other monarchs of Europe panicked. Austria and Prussia threatened France, warning the revolutionaries not to harm their king. France responded with war, and in the chaos of battle, the monarchy collapsed. By 1792, the National Convention declared the Republic of France. The king's title was gone. Next, they took his head. January 21, 1793, a drumroll echoed through Paris. Louis XVI stood on the scaffold. "I die innocent," he said, and the blade fell. Soon, the Queen followed him. The streets of Paris were filled with executions. Robespierre and the Jacobins took control, promising to defend the revolution from enemies within and without. They created the Committee of Public Safety, a name almost darkly ironic. Over 17,000 were guillotined, including once heroes of the revolution itself. It became the Reign of Terror. You could be executed for not being enthusiastic enough. A neighbor's accusation could end your life. The guillotine became not just a punishment, but a symbol of equality in death. And in their obsession with purity, they even tried to erase religion, months, and Sundays. They renamed everything. Year I, a world reborn in blood. But revolutions eat their own. Robespierre, the man who once spoke for justice, became a tyrant. He believed only he could save the revolution. In July 1794, his own allies turned on him. He was arrested and executed without trial. The crowd that once cheered him now cheered his death. The terror had ended, but France was exhausted. The new government, the Directory, was weak and corrupt. The economy was broken, the army unpaid, and royalists plotting revenge. They needed a savior, and he came in the form of a brilliant, ambitious general, Napoleon Bonaparte. By 1799, he staged a coup d'etat, seizing power. The revolution was over. The Republic had become an empire, but its ideals, liberty, equality, fraternity, would echo for centuries. Here are the rare they don't teach in school. The guillotine was seen as merciful, designed by a doctor for painless death. France created the metric system during the Revolution to unify a chaotic country. La Marseillaise, France's national anthem, was a revolutionary marching song written in a single night. Olympe de Gouges, one of the first women's rights activists, was executed for writing the Declaration of the Rights of Woman. Even pets and exotic animals of nobles were confiscated, forming the first Paris Zoo. The revolution wasn't just political, it reinvented society from religion to time itself. The French Revolution reshaped the world. It ended monarchy in France, inspired revolts in Europe, Haiti, and Latin America, and gave rise to the very idea of the citizen. But it also warned the world. When ideals turn to fanaticism, liberty becomes terror. The people wanted freedom. What they got was history's most complex revolution, one that devoured its own children, and yet laid the foundation of modern democracy. This was not just the fall of a king, it was the rebirth of the world. Thanks for watching Historic Capsule. Subscribe and share for more rare history facts and stories that changed the world.